Contractors, today I'm going to be answering the question, talking about, we're going to break this down, unpack this a little bit. How do I really feel about construction trade associations in general? Every business, every organization. I mean, there's millions of them. But in some of these groups that I'm in, if you read some of the responses that I make to some of these guys, you'd think that I'm totally against all of them. So people always send me private messages going, Brian, what's going on, man? How come? What's going on? So let me answer that, man. Stick around. All right. Should you join your trade association? Painter, roofer, they're everywhere. Wood flooring. Everybody's got one. There's hundreds, thousands of them. So short answer is yes. Yes. You're going to get something out of it. If you own a business, you're in a business, you need to be around other business like-minded people who are having the same struggles you're having, going through the same things that you have. I do have quite a few, I guess, problems with them, and I'll kind of tell you what those are. But I mean, man, when I sold my first business in 2001, I went on the speaking circuit, whether it was leadership development, sales, marketing, personal development, and 90% of everywhere I spoke was for associations. So trust me, I absolutely 100% have no problem with them. They're the best thing since sliced bread. But in my trade of hardwood flooring, you know, a lot of these guys, they give too much weight to what they learn at some of these trade shows, and that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm, hardwood flooring, so National Wood Flooring Association, a great bunch of people. I mean, it's just a great organization all around. I started wood flooring in '83. They started the association in 1985, a couple of years after I'd already been in hardwood flooring. I didn't pay any attention to it. Neither did any of the people that I worked for. Maybe in '90, I started hearing about them, and people were asking me to join and stuff. And by then, I was like, it's like, I don't know what am I going to get from it. That's your first thing is, what are you getting from any of these associations? What are you getting from anything that you spend money and time at? That should be your number one question. But some of the advice that they were given was wrong. Maybe not 100% wrong. It's just like, no matter, everything is going to change no matter where you're at on the planet. So some of the advice that they were given here was like 100% wrong, and they were saying things like, "Oh, you can't do it that way. That's wrong. The National Wood Flooring Association says you should do it this way." And I'm like, how the hell can it be wrong? We've been doing it I've been doing it personally for almost 10 years and never had a problem with it. And so I went back as a young kid, and I was telling these guys who were freaking been doing it for 50, 60 years. I was like, "Hey, man, y'all doing it wrong. NAFA says so." And they'd pop me in the back of the head and say, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" And then they would explain to me why it was wrong. And that made sense. So it's just, certain things. I'm not going to go through all of it. But then years later, it's like, they're teaching the trade and stuff. And I guess you need it. But if you're joining the association, no matter what it is, whether you're a painter or a roofer or something, most of us, I know I did, is like, I learned the trade because, the guy who hired me taught me the way that he was doing it. And then on the weekends or when I had days off, I would work for these other companies and they would do it a little bit different way. And you kind of pick and choose, but there's, so there's, many, many ways to do things differently. My number one goal is profit, plain and simple, profit. So if you can show me a way to do something that earns me more profit in less time and less effort, I'm all for it. But you can't be telling people who have been doing stuff for 30, 40 years that they're doing it wrong, when for 30 or 40, 50, 60, 100 years, it's been right. It's been working. So, and all associations are developed, organized, put together to make money. I mean, everything is money. I mean, come on. It's like, ain't nobody doing shit for free. Everybody's trying to get something out of something. But we are also trying to give back to our trade, trying to give back to that community. We want the next generation to be stronger than we are, hopefully. But it's important that you join these associations, one, just to keep them around. Everybody should be making money. I mean, I've got hundreds of hours of videos on YouTube to try to help contractors build a more profitable business. But it seems like I'm doing it for free, but no, the intent is to make money. So, but there's a lot of it. I mean, just throw some questions at me. I'm going to kind of keep this thing going. What's one of the things? Getting ready. You go there, they teach you these things. A lot of these companies, the manufacturers, whether it's the painting manufacturers, the glue, they give you suggestions on how it should be done, or teaching you how to be done. And at the end of the day, it's your reputation, it's your company. You're the one going to be standing beside the homeowner in front of the judge, if it ever gets that far. So when I hear guys all the time, whatever your association is, and when the homeowners start complaining to them and saying this or that, and we didn't have Facebook years ago, so they'd be calling you up, or they'd see you at some of these luncheons that the manufacturers would put on, and they'd be telling their story, and their answer would be, yeah, but according to the association, this is within industry standard. And I'm like, dude, who gives a fuck? The homeowner if the homeowner's not happy, they don't give a shit what the industry standard is. And if you're going to go to court and tell the judge it's the industry standard, I mean, get out of business. Your job as the business owner is to make the homeowner happy. Your job as the business owner is to not mislead the homeowner in the beginning. It's to educate them as much as you can so that you don't have problems at the end of the job. I mean, because the homeowner was expecting something else and this happened, or a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, and when the primer or the roof or the glue or the sealers and all this manufacturing stuff that we use, and they've got 25 and 50-year warranties. Trust me, man, every time I went back for a warranty, it's extremely rare that any of them stand behind their guarantee. I'm the one, the business owner, is the one left holding the guarantee. So, and if you're telling a homeowner that, man, we're using this, and they got a 20-year warranty, 30-year warranty, that's you. That ain't them. They may not even be in business. All kind of shit. I mean, they'll make something and figure it out. And associations are like doctors. Doctors are in bed with pharmaceutical companies. So sometimes they're what is that? What's that word? Coerced, whatever. They're like persuaded to give bad advice because they're in bed with the pharmaceutical companies. Well, take this, and the pharmaceutical companies has got some cute girl, having them, push that product, or they go to their association meetings and the seminars, and the good sales guy is on stage and he's telling you how wonderful this product is, and you should really be doing this because it's going to help your clients, and yada, yada, yada. And they're salespeople. Come on, man. It was like, if you've been using something for so long, and the guy you're working for and learning from has probably been using that stuff, and you're learning from him. If it's working, don't change it. Yes, there's always going to be new products, new this, new tools, new that. It's their job to sell you on it. And I ain't saying it's good or bad, but I'm telling you, if it's working, don't fix it unless it can make you more profit in less time with less effort. Now, here in California, it slowly went from, I fought using water-based forever. I was like, no, it's too thin. I mean, look at it. It pours out like water. Who the hell's going to put that? Man, I'm an oil-based guy. It's like oil. It comes out. It's thick. It's this. It's that. And like, but, when it's illegally used and you can't use it, you've got to, switch and change with the times and get green and all this other stuff. But now, and they've gotten better over the last 25, 30 years to where, even if it was legal to use the oil-based products, I wouldn't use them. We wouldn't use them as a company. But the best thing about these, so you go in there and you're doing some of these trade shows and you go into these classes for all this different techniques, man, and they're cool, man. You go in there and you learn how to do these little certain things and you're like, oh man, got this certificate. Nobody cares about the certificate. Come on, nobody. No, don't put that shit on your website. That doesn't mean anything to homeowners. Maybe 1 out of 1,000. But there's still, I mean, it's fun to do. It's fun to learn, but don't think it's going to make you more money. It's like when I go to different karate studios all over the country, I'm there for a couple of hours, every now and then a couple of days. But I get to come in as the hero. I get to come in and show the fancy stuff, the shit that you see on TV. You know, if a guy comes at you with a knife, how to take it away, how to disarm him, how to get guns away, and some other stuff, how to choke them out with a couple of seconds, little knockout punches, where to hit them that's like a light switch and their brain shuts down and they go to sleep almost instantly. And it's fun. I mean, it really is. It's fun. But so I get to be the hero for a couple of hours. But the real hero is the instructor that's there every day teaching you the basics. And here's what I mean by that. When we go to these trade shows and we're learning all these little fancy techniques and we're doing these borders and we're doing whatever it is that your trade is, I know you guys have them. And you're like, oh my God, man, that is so cool. And it's like, that shit ain't gonna make you rich. It ain't gonna. You may do it every now and then. I mean, way every now and then. It's like, it may feed your ego, but it's not going to feed your bank account. And these fancy little techniques that I get to teach and have fun with at these dojos and stuff, it's fun. And it's like, but probably never, ever, ever are you ever going to face somebody with a knife, hopefully. And maybe twice, unless you put yourself in those types of situations, or are you ever going to have to take away a gun from someone or do some certain things. But what's more realistic is someone standing in front of you, getting ready to hurt you, and you being able to snap off and kick him between the legs and disable him instantly because you know how to throw a proper ball kick or how to strike or choke him out instantly without going to the ground and taking it back. It's the basic stuff, the things that you're going to be doing over and over and over again. Normally it's the 80-20 rule, but in business, really it's the 90-10 rule, meaning 90% of your profit is going to come from doing the same boring ass shit over and over again. Painting the same fucking walls, doing the same type of roofs, doing the same type of flooring, installing the same type of flooring, it's this boring crap over and over again. And like, oh, these guys are like, man, I want to do this fancy stuff. I want to do this. Like, man, dude, feed your bank account, not your ego. So it's that basics. It's the stuff that you do over and over and over again that you've got to master. And every day do like Henry Ford did, meaning how can you do it better? How can you do it faster? How can you do it more efficient over and over again? And every now and then it'll be a tool comes out, maybe not. How much is that tool? How much time will that tool save you? So how long will it, so how much money is it going to add to the project? So you got to weigh that out, all of that kind of stuff. It may be some tools are so damn expensive that you would never get the money back because you may get a couple of dollars per project, but you won't use it enough. But you get to tell all your buddies you bought the tool, big ass deal. Another guy with like the National Wood Flooring Association and a lot of these associations, ours especially was, God, I think they came back to me in like 92, 94 or something. I don't know. Somebody in our neighborhood and our competition had won they got the flooring award of the year, and it's a badass floor. And I'm like, God dang, that motherfucker must have made $1 million on that floor. And I was like, man, where'd he install that at? Blah, blah, blah. It was like, oh, well, he didn't install it. He put it in his own house. And I was like, what? He got an award for putting a floor in his own house? I was like, oh, hell no. Give the dude who made the most money on the project in the least amount of time, give that dude the award for the year. Give him the year award. But so that kind of stuff just bugs me. It's like, it's just misleading. By the time you've joined an association, you're probably already in that trade. You probably know more than the people in that trade because you're doing it over and over and over and over again. Used to teach self-defense and subduing techniques at Los Angeles Police Department. And it was extremely frustrating because these guys only come in for a couple of days and that's it. And I'm like, dude, it's like I don't know. I really don't even want to show you this shit, because unless you're practicing it over and over and over and over again, 4 to 6 hours a day forever, then it ain't going to help you. To where you go and you learn these little techniques, it's going to kind of help you. It's going to sit there, but it's the things you need to concentrate on. Is I'm all about the contractors that I work with. My goal is to make them better businessmen than I've ever been. My goal is to make them more profitable than I've ever been. My goal is to make them more successful, whatever that definition is for them, than I've ever been. I don't want to feed their ego. I want to feed their bank account. And it's and not enough associations do that. Some do, but a lot of them don't, because they do have to make money. They've got, people they got to, kind of, push their products, or, who's ever buying into their, it's just, but again, that's business. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you're the one who can't be, I don't know, like, not brainwashed, but don't be so easily sold. Just because some guy standing on the stage and telling you something doesn't make it right. I'm the guy standing on the fucking stage. I'm telling you, don't make it right. Don't take what I say as gospel. Don't take what anyone says as gospel. Like I said, at the end of the day, you as the company owner are the ones left holding the bag when something goes right or wrong. So, but you want to be around those people. You got to be there. You got to question it. You got to say, maybe not. I don't know. We've been doing it like this. And then you go, afterwards you hang out with all these guys. And that's where it really comes into play. I mean, these manufacturers and supply houses, they don't do it as much as they used to, but man, it seemed like every Friday somebody was having, the free cookouts and the barbecues, or, like the free, manufacturer guys, they got a new something that comes out. They want all the guys to come over so they can share it and try to talk you into buying it. And, but you'd be there for an hour, 2 hours with, 12, 15, 20 other, business owners, the same trade that you're in, talking shit and what problems of this and that, and how are you handling it? And you get more from those conversations than you're going to get from anything. So being a part of the association, gives you that. And then they have all the guidelines and ways to do things but those are the what's it, sea biscuit, where the dude is saying, man, this ain't the finish line. This is the starting line. The goal is it's like, so like those guidelines and everything that they're giving and teaching, that's the starting line. That's the maybe like the foundation. But like I said, everywhere in every business is going to be different. You got to take what works for you and change it and mold it. And just because you heard someone say it doesn't mean that it's true. You got to take from that. But the biggest thing that you really get to take from it is the networking and the people who work these associations and they're members of these associations. The majority of them have really been in the trenches for a while before they go and join higher level of the association. So you can learn a lot from all of them, but don't take it as gospel. And don't think that because you join one of these associations and you put their logo on your website or your truck or something, that's taking up rental space, baby. That's the first thing I get rid of with every contractor that I work with. And I don't care what the trade is. It's like, that's valuable real estate. That's like Beverly Hills 90210. And I'm not promoting someone else's freaking company. It's like, because homeowners don't know anything about that. You mentioned even Sherwin-Williams and like Vista Paint, all these paints, like homeowners, like, you get that at Home Depot? They don't know. No, they don't know. It's up to you to educate them. That's what, like, dominate your trade, kick your competition in the ass. That's what all that's about. I gotta get more, finish that book. I'm right in the middle of writing it. It's probably going to be one of my better books, How to Dominate Your Trade, Kick Your Competition's Ass. More leads, better projects, higher profits. So but that's what that's about. It's like who you are and your reputation. And that's what it's about, man. It's your reputation. That's why, like, learning all this stuff is great, but you got to understand that at the end of the day, it falls on your shoulders. You don't get to say, well, I'm a member of this association and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, man. It's your job. It's like, treat every job as if you were doing the work for your mom. And if something goes wrong, you got to fix it. And if you've been in your trade for any amount of time, you know which primers work. You know what paper you're supposed to sand it with first. You know what moisture barrier paper you should use or what type of moisture barrier. And yeah, there's going to be newer products that come out and certain things. And it's like, I don't know. You don't want to try all the new crap on bigger projects. And again, it's like, if you got a system that works, and that's what business is, systems that you do over and over and over and over again. Guy told me, man, you should go to one of these installation classes. I'm like, for what? I'm like, dude, we've been doing it the same effing way since 1983, and the shit has been working. Why do I want to screw that up? We're extremely efficient. So, and I've done every and anything. Look, man, I've helped probably 9 different guys start manufacturing companies for hand distressing and square dials and walnut and bow ties and just different patterns, and it was like, you name it. If it's wood floors, I've done it. And I always come back to what's going to make me the most amount of profit in the short amount of time. And when I work with contractors, that's the first question I ask them. I said, look back over the last 3 months, look back over the last 6 months, the last year. What is the one thing that you've done? What's brought in the most amount of profit for the least amount of effort? And we're going to start focusing on that. And that's how you build a successful business. If you want more free time, more money, less headaches, and then you get extremely good at that. So that's my take on associations. Yes, join them, but know what you're joining when you get into it. All right. Anything. Got one guy here says he agrees. Michael P. agrees. Thanks, brother. Julian. What's up, brother? What's up? So anything before we get out of here, man. Got my water going on. Sand stain, 2 coats of poly. Poly. Is that Duracell poly? Hey, Michael, what poly are you guys using? New York is in the house. What's up, brother? Oh, Papa Lou's. All right. I've never used it. Back before we switched over to water base, everything was Duracell oil base here. Duracell oil base. Man, we used to buy it in 5-gallon jugs, man. And then they kept saying, "Oh man, they're going to outlaw it." I'm like, how can you outlaw oil-based finish? And they're like, "Yeah, it is. You can't even buy it in 5 gallons anymore. You can only buy it in gallons." And I'm like, well, why can't I buy it in 5? What's the difference between 5 gallons and 1 gallon? Now I got to buy 5 gallons. Now I got cans all over the freaking place. And then it got to where you couldn't buy it in the gallons. You could only buy it in quarts. And I'm like, good God, man. And then they just got rid of it altogether. But I'm in LA County. I'm in Orange County, LA County, illegal. I can drive it 45 minutes down the street to San Diego County and buy it and bring it back up here. Although if I get caught using it here, yeah, out of business, paying big ass stupid fines, so it ain't worth it. And I don't like to clean up, but it's just a lot of things just don't make sense. So you got to know what works for you, what works best for you. Look, man, my philosophies is not your philosophies. I tell contractors, like, I'm working with a contractor. I'm like, dude, what do you want? And I wrote that down. That's in my notes right here for today. Was you got to have the goals for your company, for your business. And I don't know, maybe they better, those goals for your company better coincide with the goals for your life, meaning your business. And for me, once I got, when I started having my first daughter, when we had kids, and not so much with my wife, I don't know. But yeah, once you have the kids, it's like, I didn't want to miss any dance recitals. I didn't want to miss anything. I didn't want to miss when she was a baby and this and first, all that stuff. So it's like, man, I can't be working. So it was like, I say it all the time, but your job as a business owner is to replace yourself as quickly as you can. I wanted the business running itself so I could do all the stuff. Me and my wife did everything together. It seems like, I think we screwed the kids up. But I didn't miss anything. Spent more time at Disney or on vacations and other stuff. But that was my goal. So it's like, what's your goals for your company? You got to know where you want your company to end up being. And it's okay if you want to be the guy always doing the work. You got one helper. I mean, that's a hard way to go through it. But so once you have those goals for your company, and then you look at all the different associations, because in all honesty, if you have a business, you should probably belong to at least 3 different associations. Chamber of Commerce is not an association, but you should probably belong to like 2 or 3 different Chamber of Commerces in your area, whether you're going or your sales guy's going, your office manager, maybe she goes. Look for groups like my buddy Bob Donnell, Next Level by Association. He does a monthly meeting to where it's just really high end business owners, and they just have a great dinner. And he usually brings in a guest speaker, and then they just all sit around and talk about business ideas and how to grow their company and that kind of stuff. You've got to surround yourself by with like-minded people who are better than you at where you want to be. And then you got to give back to the guy. Once you get to, you start here on number 1, man, you want to be up here with number 10 and these guys, but you're really not going to be able to, because he's like, so you can level up 2 or 3 and you're hanging out with those people. And so now you went from 1 to, you got to the level 3 and 4. And now you got to spend a couple of time, some time with this dude down here who's level 1. You got to try to help bring him up and tell him what you went through and all this other stuff. Her too. But then as a level 3, level 4, you're able to hang out and start having dinner and golfing with level 7 and 8s, and you do that for a while, and you're learning what they're doing, and you're going through it's all of it, man. It's always growing and better, and every day. I mean, you call my phone before at the end of the message, it says make today better than yesterday, tomorrow better than today. Every day in trying to improve yourself a little bit, and you keep your journal, you track it. But anyway, what this is about today's about those joining the associations, getting as much as you can out of them. So you got to know your goals for your company and your personal life, and make sure that when you're joining those associations that you know what you're going to get for them, because you're going to write a nice little chunk paycheck to those guys. You're going to make a nice payment. You become a member, got to get on there, do some of their trainings. You're going to learn that some of those trainings don't coincide with what you believe or how you do it. Before you start switching things over because they said so, you need to really look at it deeply and find out if it's going to make your company better, if it's going to make you more profit in less time, less effort. You don't want to miss any of the meetings, meaning like a lot of associations have monthly meetings and dinners. You got to get to those. Got your big time 1 year where all of us come together from all over the country. Got to get there, listen to the speakers. Some of the speakers are going to be good, some are going to be bad. Do all of the trainings that you can, but network with the people, have lunch with other business owners. Remember, you're a level 6, you want to have dinner with the level 8s and the level 9 guys. Find out what they're doing. What makes them a level 8, level 9 more is probably because they're making 75 to 200 grand more than you are. And so you want to pick their brain and then learn from them. And so all of that stuff. But yeah, I want to do this video because, yes, in some of these groups, I come across negative because I don't want people being misled. It's like I teach kids, drugs are bad, but I don't say, hey, man, drugs are bad. They're going to kill you. It's like, no, that's dumb. You tell kids that shit. They go to school, they see their friends doing drugs and drinking and having a lot of fun and getting women and getting guys. And it's like, damn, man, that dude lied to me. Drugs ain't bad. They've been doing it for years. And it's like, so you tell them the truth. You say, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. It's going to look good. It's going to be this. Here's what's going to happen years down the road and this and all that stuff. All of that. So it's like, you just don't try to sell it. There's good and bad to everything. And as a manufacturer, as a product distributor, their job is to sell you. Your job is to, question everything. Question me, question them, question everything. And then find out what's really going to help your company get to the goals that you've set. I hope that makes sense. Brant, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Illinois. Hey, it's spring there, brother. Brant, is spring starting to come in? A lot of you guys, man, I've met on Facebook. 2 years ago, I did a big motorcycle ride and met with a lot of contractors personally that I met through Facebook. And I hope to do that again this year. But so hook me up. Do some fishing with some of you guys. So, all right, man, I'm going to get out of here. No matter when you watch this, argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong. We can debate it. Maybe I'm missing something. But like I said, I've been in no education, dropped out of the freshman year of high school. Everything I learned was through, not associations, but everything I learned was through cassette tapes and then CDs. Some books, but I was reading at a third grade level, had to teach myself to read, but I love reading now. Audio books, but now it's like we didn't have no freaking internet and YouTube and all the crap that you guys have nowadays. I sound like an old man. We didn't have it in my time, but it was the cassette tapes. Zig Ziglar calls it Automobile University. CDs, but it was going to these associating meetings and listening to these trainers and speakers and all day sales and business. I didn't know anything about business, so I never went to any of these trade organizations. Everything that I joined and went to was business minded. I felt like shit. That's the book, man. I'd already mastered my trade. I didn't know shit about business. I needed to learn business, and a lot of these organizations fall short because they're not helping these guys with the business part of it. And I'm thinking, dude, it's like, man, they're already in the trade. They know the trade. They're working for this dude 3, 4, 5 years. They know what they're doing trade wise. It's like now they started their own business. So they joined this trade association for what? To learn how to do what they already know how to do. It's like, man, we got to teach them how to make more money, save more money, do the taxes, do the business, how to hire, how to train, how to fire, all of that crap, the marketing, get the phone. And they kind of most of them, not all of them, fall short on that aspect. That's why everything I joined was all business oriented, and it served me. It served me very well. So, but all of them have a purpose. All of them have a reason. Big brother Charlie, man, what good weather in the Dallas. I'm definitely coming over to Charlie's place. We're going to definitely hang out, have a beer. I don't know if Charlie fishes or not. Charlie, you fish? I see you hiking in beautiful cabin areas and stuff. I think he was in Arkansas. There was a big ass lake, but I don't know if he was fishing. Brant said it's starting to get here. I think what was Sunday was the first day of spring, or was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday, right? Saturday or Sunday was the first day of spring, but yeah, Sunday was, because Friday finished playing golf. It was like 90 degrees. I was like, man, hopped on the motorcycle, rode up to my cabin in Big Bear meet the wife. She was already up there, and so Saturday we got up, rode around all through the mountains, around the lake. It was a little cold, but still nice. And then got up Sunday morning, first day of spring, like snow. Like a half an inch, not real snow, but all over the place. And I was like, oh man, I wasn't expecting that. We're going to get some snow today, I think. All right, so we got some fishing to do. White River, yep, is that where it was? All right, brother. Hey man, it's like I fish like I golf badly. So, all right, man. If you missed this, rewatch it. Yeah, so nothing wrong with the associations. Just know what you're getting into. Don't take what they say as gospel. You're the business owner. You're the one left holding the bag. It's going to be on your shoulders. It's your reputation. All of that stuff. Just set the goals for your company, for your business, for yourself, and then do things daily that get you closer to those goals. All right, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Almost lunchtime. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks, guys.